probably problematic. Starting a video kind of different today because we are in my car. If you have been around this channel since the beginning, you probably remember some other videos that I did in my car. I've forgotten how humiliating this is. If I seem out of breath, it is honestly, and embarrassing to say this because I haven't said this on my channel before, but I have PTSD, and today has been really, really, really rough because I had probably the worst trauma nightmare that I've had all year last night, and that was bad. Like, you can probably tell I'm just gonna try to distract myself. I've honestly had a very productive day because I work to distract myself. Anyway, what this video is gonna be, and I'm sorry that I'm starting filming it on such a kind of glum note. Hopefully it'll get better as it goes on because I'm gonna be filming this over the course of several days. This video is gonna be about books to read outside. That is, books that I think the experience of reading them is enhanced by reading outside. We talk on BookTube a lot, I feel like, about, what is your preferred place to read? And the number one thing that I see people say is that they like to read in bed. And I get that. I truly do. I definitely read in bed most nights. I do get reading in bed. I also read at my desk or in cafes a lot. I really do like reading in places where there are other people around me. But the number one place that I like to read is outside. If I completely have my way, I really strongly prefer to read literally in a forest preserve or a park or a garden. For me, reading outside is a way to make sure that I get out. It's so hard when you're busy to get the rays that you need. I know that I feel better when I'm getting enough time outside. I have a lot of memories of also spreading a picnic blanket out and reading outside. There at the arboretum that I used to do a ton of hiking at, but they also had a plant library just with tons of books on botany in it, and it was super, super quiet all the time. And that library also had a secret reading area outside. So I have memories of reading Infinite Jest there. I wish I'd been reading a better book, but alas. It's my belief that there are particular books that I've read where the reading experience has been just tripled by the fact that I'm reading something outside. I'm so excited to recommend them to you guys. And the other thing that I'm doing, and the reason why I'm in my car right now, is I thought it would be fun for this video for me to make a traditional snack that I historically, I guess, have made in my family, specifically for going outside. So part of the reason I am such a big fan of being outdoors and spending time in nature is because I was raised to do that. My family was one of those families that instead of going to Disney World, we literally traveled across the United States visiting different national parks. And so those are literally some of the best memories that I have. I feel like those vacations made me who I am today. One of the earliest vacations that we did for probably over a decade was heading up to Canada to this campground that they had friends that ran it. And it wasn't tents, it was cabins, relatively nice cabins next to a lake. And so we would go up there every summer for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and just kind of hang out and fish in the mornings and the nights. I have such intense memories of like having the window open at night when it was like 50 degrees in June, and you know, the sound of like the loons calling to each other at night. You know, I saw tons of beavers and deer. I have a bear encounter as well, and I don't know, I remember the smell of the lake and everything that went into it. I remember always going to Bass Pro Shop before we would go, and we would look at the different fishing lures, and my brother and I would play with our fishing lures like they were toys and like give them names and stuff, and it was like a great honor to be put on the hook to be cast out. And I remember we had lures that looked like frogs that we would like intentionally cast onto lily pads close to the boat. Yeah, that did not make our parents happy. And so anyway, I'm gonna make a snack that we used to make for those vacations, and that snack is called birdseed. And we used to bring, Victor makes fun of birdseed all the time, and you're probably gonna see when I make it. This is like one of the most nostalgic snacks for me. It was something that we took on the boat with us every single time that we went out to fish, so we'd have some birdseed in the morning and some birdseed at night. I am in the car right now because I have to drive to like get ingredients for it. I don't know. I thought it would be nice to add that into this video, so that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna first get the ingredients for the birdseed, we're gonna make the birdseed, and then finally I'm gonna take you to one of my favorite places just to be outside. I haven't read there yet, but I'm gonna go there to talk about the books with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this, and that's it. I have to go before more people start showing up.
Day 4.
So I just came from outside and from a dentist appointment. There is no easy way for me to film this. I'm probably gonna regret trying, but I have all the ingredients for the birdseed. So now we're going to assemble, hopefully without really mean commentary from Victor. So I'm gonna assemble these ingredients in the order that you're supposed to eat them when you eat the birdseed, because there is like a proper order to eat them in. So the worst and the least valuable element of birdseed is cashews. These are just...
That's the first thing you eat?
These are just... Well, it's evident that you care more about...
I found one. Tubby Tuesday. Alright, so for...
Victor and I are coming up... Well, Victor's coming up
okay,
with... So normally he has like a mentally ill name for each day of the week. So it's the Monday Madness,
the Tuesday Terrors,
the Wednesday Worries,
the Thursday Thrashings, Friday Freakouts, Saturday Sadness, and then Sunday Scaries, which is the classic.
The Sunday Scaries is the classic. And now he's coming up with fucking...
corpulent terms. So we have Massive Monday, Tubby Tuesday, Wide Wednesday, Thick Thursday, Fat Friday.
Fat Fuck Friday.
Fat Fuck Friday for you Catholics out there.
What?
Because oh wait, no, it's Fat Tuesday, never mind. Don't worry about it.
This is why Victor isn't Catholic anymore.
Yeah, because that'd be a terrible
Catholic.
Catholic.
No.
So, I gotta figure out...
And the rest of them?
Well...
Fat Fuck Friday. What about Sloth Saturday?
Sloth Saturday is good, and then we need... You said Succulent Sunday, but I don't know about that one.
Alright, next...
Sufficient Sunday! We gotta take it easy on Sunday.
Victor came up with this because... What was happening that the word wide came up today?
I don't know.
These are, honey... I think these are, like, toffee honey roasted peanuts. So these are the second most valuable. The nuts are the lowest on the totem pole in birdseed. They're like, you kind of have to, like, get them out of the way when you eat them.
That's so lame,
because they're kind of... Why is it lame?
Well, not lame, but, like... I would just stop after the nuts.
I copied all the letters in a hand so free that I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
And
would you?
Yes, I would.
Banana chips. Actually, okay, banana chips and dried cranberries, I think are on the same tier in birdseed.
I did.
Yeah, banana chips, many a banana chip has been thrown overboard to the fishes on my Canada trips in my childhood. Dried cranberries. Got those. Next, I can't forget these ingredients that I just bought. So
I'm
next,
still on board.
So
at
next,
this point.
next we have sesame sticks. So these are just like the dried sesame sticks that look like dog food.
Love that shit.
Pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to hand me those?
No.
Okay.
So sesame sticks. I'm kind of worried that I didn't use a big enough bowl. Why are you looking at me like that?
Babe, I have nothing. I have no commentary yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you like it so far?
I would
Yeah,
eat the
fucking
shit out
delicious.
of it. Yeah, I would eat the shit out of it.
All right, now is my brother's least favorite ingredient in the bird seed is these yogurt covered raisins, because he in like 2010 like it became trendy to hate raisins, and so he got on board and just has hated raisins ever since. So
This is
all right.
where you're starting to lose me a little more.
Well, that's because you hate happiness. We got the raisins. Now we have mini marshmallows.
No.
So
No, you've lost me completely.
these are to birdseed what flour is to a cake. These are hold it together. It's just like a basic structural element that you need.
I thought you were gonna say they're filler.
And when we were on the boat, we used to put these like on the hook of our. Yeah, not so much of a hater now.
Well, I like marshmallows by themselves.
So we used to put these on the hook of our fishing lures before casting them out. I don't know if any of us ever got a bite that way because the marshmallows float.
Yeah,
And
you're not gonna.
They would mostly just fall off in the water. And so our boat would have just a trail of marshmallows behind it. It would just be like for several casts, you have this increasingly grimy marshmallow on your hook, and you just pray to God that you don't thrash your fishing pole too harshly when you're casting, because then it would fall out over the boat. And in traditional birdseed, a single serving includes a regular size marshmallow in it too. Next we have jelly beans.
Again, you've lost me yet again.
I think that one year we used Birdie Bott's every flavor beans, and
See,
that was pretty interesting.
That's nuclear.
I think there were some that I was too scared to eat, so I threw them overboard. Do you want one?
Yeah.
This is a pretty one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So these are just assorted jelly beans. Any brand will do. M's. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have 3 kinds of M's. So you're supposed to have dark chocolate M's, peanut M's, and peanut butter M&M's. And you're supposed to have all 3 of those in there, like basically a whole bag like this. Now, these bags are $6 now. In this economy, I cannot afford to waste money on those other forms of M's that I kind of don't care about as much. I almost picked up like one of those like mixed bags where it has the peanut and the peanut butter and the regular M's, but they always skimp on the peanut butter in those, I swear. So I only have peanut butter, but the proper recipe includes peanut M's, dark chocolate M's, and peanut butter M&M's. So you're supposed to put all 3 of those in. And then the crowning jewel of birdseed is candied pineapple. And you're supposed to have like the big chunks. I could only find these little chunks at pretty much any store. I mean, they had like $12 tubs of the big chunks, but I didn't really want to spend all that money on it. So I just got the little ones. You're also supposed to have candied mango in this, but I also couldn't find like the little cubes of it that look like this. I just left it out because I don't really like it that much, so it wasn't really worth spending the money on. So I'm just gonna mix this up.
Oh my god.
Why are you... I think that probably some years the recipe differed a little bit, and we would do like...
I can't.
And we would add like pretzels or something too.
Oh, that would be so good.
Well, it's not your family recipe.
No,
it's mine.
it's not.
So this is what the finished product looks like. It's beautiful. It's a tasty snack for the whole family. Don't overestimate how much of each ingredient that you need when you go to the store and get stuff, because you honestly don't need that much when you have this many ingredients. I think the marshmallows are so neutral flavored that they kind of add a nice reprieve from the otherwise assault on your senses. Yeah, you're supposed to like pick through it, and that's why it's called birdseed. This is my childhood recipe. I'm gonna bring this with me when I go to the forest preserve to talk about my books to read outside, and I will see you there. To be completely honest, I could not have chosen a worse day to do this shit, because I don't know if you can hear that, but it is raining pretty hard and it's only supposed to get worse throughout the day. So I literally chose the worst possible fucking day, and I was getting judged by literally everybody that I passed on the trail. Also, I fear that I'm not going to be doing a great job of selling reading outdoors to you when it is literally pouring outside, but all we can do is our best. Fortunately, they have this like shelter here that you're allowed to be in. There are a lot of wasps' nests in here, so hopefully I don't get attacked. I guess you'll get to enjoy the ambiance of the rain. I am all bird seated up, so I have snacks. And this isn't supposed to continue into the evening, so I think I'm just gonna kind of chill out here for a while and just wait for it to calm down a little bit before I start walking back. I am not super far from my car, but I still just couldn't make it in time. Yeah, again, I love reading outside. I know other people are freaked out by the unpredictability of it. You know, they don't like whatever, just like the feeling of being outside, which doesn't really come as a surprise to me given how people act on BookTube. For me, I really like reading outside despite the unpredictability, because I like just being able to hear the ambiance of nature around me and stuff. Your mileage may vary. These are all books, by the way, that you can see them here. These are all books that I feel like will only be enhanced if you read them outside. So like, you can read them inside to bring the outdoors indoors, but for me, I think that the reading experience is only enhanced by bringing them outside with you, and that has been my experience with all of these books. The first one that I want to talk about, and this is probably one of my favorite books that I've ever read in my life. I cannot recommend it to you enough. This is Lily Pond, 4 Years with a Family of Beavers by Hope Ryden. This is pretty much what it sounds like. She is a naturalist who just spent 4 years following the lives of this family of beavers and tracking their every move. So she was there in winter, she was there in spring, she was there in summer. Like, she was watching them so intently, and she was able to fill a whole book in this. There are maps in here of what their den looks like. Yeah, I actually have a signed copy of this, which I think is amazing. I'm never getting rid of this book. She also has pictures of the beavers. These are in black and white. And then, yeah, you can see she also made a family tree of them, and she names them to keep them like easy to keep track of and everything. I literally cannot express to you how much I love this book. I feel like it made me have so much more of an appreciation for an animal that really isn't like a lot of people's favorite animal, and those are honestly the kinds of animal books that I appreciate the most, because to some people beavers are pests because they literally cause like routine flooding of areas, which obviously is necessary for the environment, but when you're trying to be like a human being developing stuff, it's like very inconvenient, or if it's happening in your backyard, it can be very inconvenient. So I just think it's so magical to learn more about an animal that is like kind of less glamorous, or less glamorized by our culture, I should say. Really just makes me feel like that much more grateful to live in the world that I live in, and to have access to nature of that sort, like right in my backyard. It makes me appreciate like backyard nature more. And yeah, her descriptions of the seasons in this and her descriptions of the pond are so fleshed out and beautiful. It is so emotionally written. I can't stress enough how much I recommend this book. It is absolutely one of the best books I've ever read. I'm absolutely planning on reading her book on wild horses as well, because she has one of those, and she also has one on coyotes. So if you read this and you like it, you should totally check out those as well. Next, this is actually another signed edition. It was really risky of me to bring these with me today because I knew that there was a possibility it would rain like this. I knew my bag would be waterproof, so that's fine. So I did not give this a super high rating on Goodreads, mostly because of the ending and because I'm such a snob when it comes to literary fiction. This is Lauren Groff's The Vaster Wilds. This is about a girl from a 17th century settlement in America that is basically collapsing. They are having tons of problems and it's like crisis mode. She basically flees the settlement into the wilderness to run for her life because of a crime that she has recently committed. And it's literally just about her like trying to stay alive in the wilderness with literally nothing. Like she has pretty much nothing on her, and so it's just her trying to survive with her wits and what's available to her hands. I didn't like the ending of this. I thought it had very kind of like typical of today, nothing matters, man, like kind of, that was really like what the book concluded on. I thought that most of this was extremely enjoyable. If you're a person that is going to be wondering where is the plot, probably skip it because there honestly isn't much plot in this aside from just her trying to stay alive. Also, tons of descriptions of her shitting. I don't know what current literary fiction's obsession is with defecation, but it's gotta stop because I just know it's a fucking fetish thing. Lily Pond is kind of, it really emphasizes the beauty that can be had in wilderness. The Vaster Wilds really emphasizes the hostility that can be found in wilderness. There's a mallard outside who's just like sitting on a rock throughout all of this, minding his business. The next thing that I want to recommend to you, the legendary book that I almost set on fire in a video a long time ago. This is Upstream by Mary Oliver, and it's just selected essays. Just be aware that these are essays from other collections. They are extremely nature heavy and naturalistic. Verdant might be the ideal word to describe them. And they're just about life. They are not like completely focused on just like talking about like being in nature. It's kind of more about like the ways that her life is intertwined with nature. I did read this a long time ago, so I don't really have a ton of super detailed commentary to make on it. I feel like this is a very picturesque tour kind of book. Like if you were going on a very long hike, as in multiple days, I think that this would be fantastic to bring with you because it is so conducive to meditation. Yeah, I don't know. You can see on the cover right there, that's where my piece of incense fell. I have to give you a classic, even though today we're mostly taking a break from classics. This also is one that I have not read super recently and that I do need to reread at some point, but it's one that I still am confident in recommending to you. This is Henry David Thoreau's Walden. My copy also has Civil Disobedience by him. In fact, I might have liked that even a little bit more than Walden. This is just so fantastic, you guys. There's like really a reason why it's a classic. I think that something about secluding yourself in nature and leaving yourself to your thoughts and removing yourself from the hustle and bustle of society, it doesn't really surprise me that that would lead to extremely valuable insights into life and God and whatever else. I don't know. I thought this was superb. I agreed with so much of what he said about the world, and really I felt like I learned so much from this, and I also felt like a very deep sense of peace when I was reading it as well. I don't know if you can see. It used to be in an English department, and really I feel like that's the case with all of these. Definitely, except for the Vaster Wilds. The Vaster Wilds is one to send a chill down your spine and give you like a healthy amount of respect for how dangerous nature can be for humans. All the rest of these are really more like books to give you peace, books to ground you, right? So Walden I felt was an extremely grounding book. I felt like Upstream by Mary Oliver was a little bit more lofty and kind of like lifting you up to see the beauty of life a little bit more. Walden is more like grounding you in the reality of life and like making you less afraid to see that reality. And then Lily Pond is just Lily Pond. It's so special. And then the last one, I think this is, no, it's not the most recent. It feels like the most recent one that I've read because it stuck with me so much. This one you will recognize. This is Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. This is literally the fucking Bible to me, to be honest. This totally changed my life. There is a reason this is almost at a 5-star on Goodreads. I feel like Goodreads so often overrates books. I felt that, I mean, not to be like I get this book and nobody else does, but this book actually made me want to like change the way that I act towards the earth on a daily basis. I read this outside in autumn. It is very like ecologically focused. She incorporates a ton of indigenous wisdom that is from her own traditions while also integrating that into like the scientific knowledge that she has learned as a researcher. It's very plant focused, so if you're looking for something more animal focused, I would go for Lily Pond. It's a protest novel, but it's also like kind of a love song for the world. It is so life-changing to read Braiding Sweetgrass. A lot of this is focused on the ways that humans can have sustainable interactions with nature too. So she is very focused on the idea of like humans as a part of nature and a part of an ecosystem rather than this external thing which only destroys ecosystems. So she talks about like more sustainable ways that humans can interact with our environment. She talks a lot about the myth of the Wendigo and how that is kind of like the perfect description for like the kinds of people that capitalism tries to turn us into, where everything is about more and like infinite growth instead of just being okay with what you have and throwing the rest back. I try to really keep this in mind with like, it's kind of lame, but like in regards to my channel, because I think it's so easy to get sucked into the desire to make your channel grow, but a lot of people get sucked into that and then they forget to think about what they might be losing in the process of making their channel grow. If you are always adapting your message to what literally almost every single person will like enough to click on, you end up with shit like Darmon or like PewDiePie, and it's just ugly. Like, it's lame, but like I try to just like be grateful for like the following that I have on here rather than worrying all the time about how am I gonna grow my channel and this and that. Because it already is so crazy to have 500 people watching you and like watching the things that you do. And if people like find my ideas too radical or find my approach to life too like out there, then that's like okay, because there are 500 people that do appreciate it. I also think about that in terms of just like wealth. Like in my head, I have always had this like number of like, if I made this amount per year in salary, I would stop and I would be happy with it. And if it got to a point where I couldn't afford my lifestyle anymore, then sure, I can bump it up a little bit. But I have always kind of had a number in my head where I'm like, if ever I made this much money, I would stop. Because it's so easy to get sucked into that cycle of I need more and more capital for more and more things that I'm convincing myself that I need to buy. And you never stop to think about the other things that you're losing in the process. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's kind of what I've been thinking about lately. Kind of what I've been thinking about today. Just, like, not letting yourself be turned into a person who needs more and more stuff, and more wealth, and more attention. It's so important to learn how to be content with and okay with the amount that you currently have. I don't know. I implement this in a lot of ways in my life. Like, for clothing, I do the one in, one out method. So, if something breaks and I can't fix it, or if something is just like I'm never wearing it ever and I just need a different garment that fulfills that purpose because my style has changed or whatever, then that's a one in, one out scenario. Wow, it's actually slowing down. Look what patience gets us. When I was doing my planting for Astara earlier today, you know, it's like I could buy more like flower pots and seed starters and things, but also trying to save more money right now, and I have like a bunch of just like plastic ones from like previous times that I've purchased plants that are just sitting around unfilled. So there's no reason why I can't use those things until they become unusable anymore. I just feel like so many people, it's all like, it stresses me out because they embody the infinite growth model of capitalism where they're always just like buying more and more and more books and like more and more and more stuff. And it's like, I guess I just like find it repulsive. I think that braiding sweetgrass is a part of why I have started to feel like well and truly disgusted on both a political and like a spiritual level with that kind of process, and that kind of attitude. I think it poisons your soul to be that crazy about buy. I need more. I think we need to talk about how evil greed is more. I'm actually kind of glad that I came out here today. Even though it's raining, it's nice because there's literally nobody else around. I was really worried about being embarrassed for filming in public. This actually has been extremely cathartic and peaceful. I'm gonna, I think, walk around the lake because the rain is really slowing down a lot and get a little bit of footage. I'll set it to music for you guys, or maybe I'll read one of the Mary Oliver essays or something like that. If you're watching this video, I challenge you to read at least one of these books that I have recommended. I challenge you. Let me know in the comments which one you are going to pick up, and I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts on this video and everything. If you try birdseed, let me know too. I think that's it for me today, but this stuff is really important to me, so I appreciate you listening. That's it. Bye.